What's up, ladies? I wanted to get on here and just say when our lifestyle isn't what we want it to be, you have the power to change it, and only you. Your mom can't tell you, your dad can't tell you, your significant other can't tell you. Like, you have the power to change your lifestyle, and only you. If you do not hold yourself accountable for it, then that is where the self-discipline comes into play. It's a very beautiful morning out here. You know, when we go throughout life, if we're not happy in our life and our choices, then that's a pretty good, indicator that something needs to change if we're not happy. And I feel like the best time to kind of really do that and evaluate that is for a woman. Planning around our cycles can be difficult. Knowing though, and having the empowerment of knowing yourself, knowing your cycle, how to navigate yourself throughout your cycle, also helps everybody around you and yourself. Because then you're able to communicate better on what you need and all of that. So if you're noticing like the times when you're unhappy and like your luteal phase, or things aren't just sitting right in your luteal phase, that's the time when things are starting to slow down. We don't want to be as social as much. We don't have as much motivation. We don't want to work on a project. We don't want to go to work. We don't want to do any of that shit. And I get it. We don't. That's just how Mother Nature has made us. To go against that, though, is when we start to burn out. And we start to see that we're unhappy in our lives too. That's why knowing our cycle and having it set up a way that fits your lifestyle is where you're going to start feeling aligned with yourself, being happy with your body, being more empowered in your body. You always just need that support in your corner to validate and acknowledge and to make sure everything's okay. And I get that. Because life be crazy out here. Like this last year, honestly, in entrepreneurship has been challenging. It's had ups and downs. I've been away from social media here lately just because I needed time away, and talking to yourself through a phone is not always the greatest, and it just feels weird sometimes. Getting out in that interaction, talking in person is really where you're going to feel connected to someone and other people. I digress from social media though. So, lifestyle, just what does your lifestyle look like right now? If it's, you're taking it day by day, that's okay. Do it, lady. Like, it's okay to live day by day sometimes. It's okay to live week by week. It's okay to take it month by month. changing your lifestyle is never easy. If change is what you're wanting to see, though, to be happy, you have to start somewhere. You gotta start somewhere. Whether that's starting tracking your food, tracking your cycle, saying no more, being more with your boundaries. You know, it's things like that. We were constantly appeasing other people, not just women, people in general like to please other people. That's human nature. Learning the boundaries around it, though, and when to say no and when not to people please is really going to help you as a woman. It really is. It's really going to help you with the burnout, and it just makes you feel better and more powerful inside too, because now you have control. I always tell everybody, my coworkers, as a nurse, should be crazy. I always tell patients, if there's a complaint or anything about someone else when I wasn't there to see what happened, I will always tell them, I can't control what anybody else does. I can only control what I do. And I try to make it right, what was wrong. And I listen to, to what that is. And when you're happy in your personal life and you're enjoying your personal life, it makes your work life so much more fun and relaxing and just kind of better in all sorts of ways. So if your personal life, you're very unhappy, you're constantly bloating, you're unhealthy, you're not taking care of yourself, then your work life is going to be just as bad as your personal life, because you're making all these choices in your personal life that aren't helping. They're not helping you. And I say all of this because I've been through it myself. Balancing your work and your personal life can be hard to do. It's one of those things that you learn and grow from, and you adapt. You try things on, some things don't work, and then you try some other things. And balance is what I'm all about. Balancing throughout everything. Lifestyle and balance, I feel like, go hand in hand. If you are feeling that your lifestyle isn't matching what your equilibrium is in your body, you're gonna feel an imbalance then. 100%. 100%. You're gonna feel an imbalance. Whether your body is showing you bloating or achy bones, or you're tired all the time, you're burnt out. Those are signs that you are having an imbalance in your body, and that is showing up because of your lifestyle. Not all the time. There are obviously other things that come in effect with, certain genetic diseases and all of those other things. That's not what I'm talking about, though. I am talking about your personal choices that have made you be where you are at to this day. Your unhealthy choices. And if you're wanting to make that change and you don't know where to start, then, come talk to me, because I would love to have an open conversation about it. And I have space right now to do it, and I love making connections with people, and I'm very passionate about health and just getting to know someone and helping them guide through this process that can be scary. It's very scary. especially if you're constantly going to hospital visits and doctor visits all the time. And I've had these conversations with the hard conversations with many patients in my nurse career, and it always goes back down to, what does your lifestyle look like? What does it look like? And what needs to change and, you know, be evaluated. And the only person who can do that is yourself. It's you. No one else can change it for you. You know, there can be people that support you and you can have the accountability, but no one can ultimately do the change unless you show up for yourself. You know, learning to love ourselves it can be challenging. We have our self-critic, which I've been reading about in a book lately, and you know, it tells you a lot about yourself. And again, it comes back to your cycle. Learning when your self-critic is showing up a lot more will tell you a lot about your cycle, tell you, you know, there's an imbalance, like with your hormones possibly. Like there's so many subtle signs that show up that we need to pay attention to. Because if you're not paying attention to these subtle signs, that's when things start getting more and more downhill. That's when we start questioning ourselves more. That's when relationships start going sideways and bad, and all of these other things. And we're not regulating ourselves to a way that we can control it. And again, I'm all about balance, and I like being in control of what comes out of my mouth, because whenever I'm saying things out of turn, it makes me look bad, and I don't like that. And you know, my self-critic will get to me too. You know, which shows up for us a lot in the luteal phase, because we start being a little bit more judgmental on ourselves and how we look, and oh, that person doesn't like us, oh, this, that, and that. Like tell that bitch to shut up. Tell your self-critic to be quiet. Like, and whenever you become empowered enough to shut up your self-critic, I feel like that's when the real growth starts. It really does. 'Cause you are in control, not your negative self. You know, positivity, fuck's sake, can't even talk. It goes a long way. It goes a long way. And you can definitely tell when people are more positive versus more negative in their lives, because it shows up in their actions. And like I said, having boundaries around the positivity, around being around people, and all this, it comes with learning yourself, learning your cycle, and being empowered on yourself, being connected with your body, having balance in your life that fits you. That's all I came here to say. So I got my plants all situated as well, growing in this nice little June day. I hope everybody has an amazing day. Peace out.